Hi guys and welcome. So in this video we're going to do a little bit of review on the SATA 5000B RP. Now I've got this gun in a 1.2 setup, and as you guys know, because you've seen it quite a few times on the channel now, it is one of my favourite guns, and bearing in mind we've used it quite a lot, I thought it was about time that we actually did a bit of a dedicated review on this gun. Now this particular piece of video here, this is the first time that I'd ever had this out of the box. The first job that I tried to do with it, and it was this little bumper that we've got off a Volkswagen Golf GTI for colour coding. One of the things with this gun you will notice straight out of the box is the quality and the feel of this gun. Even down to the digital gauge, the dials, everything about this gun screams quality, which, let's face it, being made by the Germans, it's bound to be. Overall it is just quality and build wise an outstanding gun. It's got a really nice finish to it as well on the outside, and I have to say, after using this for quite some time and for some quite messy jobs, it is very easy to clean as well. Now I pretty much all the time use the RPS system with this. I think it's a good match with this gun. They work really well and makes it really easy to clean. I have also bought since the larger aluminium pot for doing big respray work, just because on some of the jobs it makes it that little bit easier, and especially with something like direct gloss like we're going to be moving towards in a minute, you'll see what it's like for that. So being the 1.2 RP model, this really is purely for clear coat, and I have tried it using HS direct gloss. Now clear coat in this section, and if you've seen some of the videos of me using this gun before, you'll know that it does put out an outstanding off the gun finish, as long as everything's prepped right and obviously that your job's right. This being the first job that I used it for, it was a bit of a feeling out process. It wasn't a really high end clear that we were putting through it. It was a good quality clear, and it put out an absolutely outstanding finish on this bumper. I think I pretty much ended up only just tiny nibbing a tiny little 2 or 3 little marks out of this, and then pretty much sent it out of the door as was. It really did perform that well out of the box. And obviously since using this kind of clear through this gun, I've now put through some really high end clears, some really low end clears, and I have to say, overall, with a good clear through this gun absolutely puts this clear down on pretty much any job so effortlessly. It really is a really nice piece of really well designed spray gun. Now the only thing that I would say about this is, obviously it's been noted a few times, it's the price. Compared to a lot of other guns on the market, and compared to my other favourite clear coat guns, my favourite clear coat gun has always been the GTI Pro Light with the 110. Now I've found that with the 110 air cap, that really does put down lacquer beautifully, and with a tiny bit of an air pressure change you can put down a factory finish, or you can put down a really nice glass finish. Now obviously this gun, the retail price on this gun, you're looking at roughly around about 550 to 600 pounds depending on where you're buying it from, so it is an expensive gun. Now even at that price you don't get a pot with it, you're looking at extra on top for a pot. Do I think it's worth it compared to something like the Pro Light? Overall, the Pro Light is a really nice gun. This to me is an exceptional quality gun. It's almost that exceptional quality that I really would love to clean it up and put it on a stand and leave it on a stand in an office or something like that, because it is a beautifully designed piece of kit. It looks as good as it performs, and for that reason I think, to be honest, I think it, in a way, it is worth the money. Before I actually got this gun, and before I got it in and started using it, I always said to people that I don't think that a SATA can really be worth as much as what they're being sold for. I thought they were a little bit overpriced for what they are. But then again, if you're spraying, you know, a lot of cars a day, or if you're spraying cars that are worth tens of thousands of pounds, a spray gun like this isn't really a lot to a painter that's doing that kind of work. Obviously it is a very expensive spray gun, but with that you've got the design of the actual gun itself, you've got the exceptional build quality. I can't see this ever breaking. The spare pot I've got for it, That again has got exceptional build quality. Overall, there's just nothing personally that I can knock about it. I did think when I first started using it that it was a little bit overusing the clear coat, but then when I compared it to something like my Iwata W400 Bavaria, another one of my top favourite clear coat guns, that I have to say it doesn't really use much more, if anything whatsoever. With the RPS system, which you can see here, it's effortless to clean. You can just pop the little plastic cap straight in the back of that top, flush your gun out with a tiny bit of thinners, and it's like brand spanking new, ready to go all over again. Overall, for clear coat wise, I can't fault this gun in any way, shape or form. Now for me, I have made this gun primarily really my respray gun. If I'm doing a big job with clear coat, or as we're going to show and get into a little bit now, direct gloss, then personally this is my go-to gun. If I'm doing a few panels or something like that, then I go back to my Bavaria, or I've got the W400 Evo and a few other guns dotted about, but for a respray this really is my go-to gun. And when we get around the other side of this in a minute, you'll see why. It has an absolutely huge fan, which if you get your pressure and your fan setting just right, you can get it set to a really nice big fan, which will make doing something like this large job here, which again, this is the first time I've put direct gloss through this gun, and if you've watched the video on this, it came out beautifully. And direct gloss is something in the past that I've always struggled with a bit. I've never really been a massive fan of direct gloss, really, well, spraying it anyway, or polishing it for that matter. Just generally, I think it's good stuff, it's got its uses, but as a product to spray, I'd much I try and do base and clear if I can. Now I thought, bearing in mind, as you can tell, this gun is pretty much at this stage still out of the box condition. It's not had a lot of usage or anything like that, so I thought, right, I'll chuck it in at the deep end and have a go with a bit of direct gloss, because this is such a big job, and obviously this gun can pump out quite a lot of paint if you want it to, and also with it having such a big fan, it is something that would make a big respray like this, where you've got to put 2 or 3 coats down of direct gloss, hopefully that little bit easier. You'll also note that I've got the larger aluminium pot. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that holds 3/4 of a litre. I didn't go for the litre pot, purely because the extra weight on your wrist where you're spraying sometimes can put you off a little bit and make your arm that little bit fatigued. But overall, again, with the direct gloss, it didn't outperform my Iwata, purely because this is the first time that I've used this for direct gloss. I've used my Iwata W400 Bavaria a lot of times for direct gloss, so I've got it more dialed in. But for the first time that I was using this gun, it absolutely nailed this van, better than I thought it ever would. Obviously it's made as a clear coat gun, but I thought with obviously this being a top coat HS gloss, I thought why not bite the bullet, slap it through this SATA and see how it fares up compared to the other guns that I've used. And I have to say, I much preferred it for direct gloss over the Pro Light, which I can never really get on with for direct gloss. However, clear coat I always could. So as I said, this is the first job that I actually did with this gun. Now this is one that I've just recently done on a Ford Anglia 105E, and I have to say again, I decided to go with this gun just for ease more than anything. With having that really large fan, if you've got your pressure and your fluid setting right, you can leave that fan wound full on and you really can hammer the paint on, or you can turn that fluid down a little bit. And on a car that's tricky like this, it's got a lot of edges and a lot of nooks and crannies, you can turn it down that little bit. But I find that this is a gun that gives you confidence in you as a painter. You can be confident that when you pick this gun up that it will perform, obviously as long as you're competent at what you're doing. And I do think that this gun really does help you with confidence, the fact that you know you have got an outstandingly built spray gun in your hand for the job in hand that you are going to paint, whether it be a small bumper or whether it be a full respray or anything like that. It's just one of those kind of guns that really does give you confidence as a painter in the job in hand that you are doing. Now, if I was to give this gun a rating out of 10, I suppose The only thing that really would let this gun down over anything is price wise. If you've got the money to go and buy one of these, then brilliant. I would say all day long, this is a gun that you will not probably leave on your shelf. This is a gun that would be in your hand and you would want in your hand when you are doing really nice high-end work. And for that is the only reason that I would give it the 8 out of 10, is just purely on the price. Apart from that, there's not a thing really that I can fault with this gun. From what I've heard from other people, SATA's customer service is absolutely amazing. Parts are easy to get hold of. Not that I've needed any. I've had this gun now for almost 12 months, and I have to say it's never had one issue whatsoever. I think the only issue that I ever have had with it is when I once forgot to tighten the air cap up and I went to start painting and it had a little spit, and well, that was my own fault. That's got nothing to do with the gun, that was just down to complete and utter user error. The RPS system, compared to the other systems that are out there, does work really well. It's a really quick, easy system to use, it's effortless to use, and there never seems to really be much of an issue with any of the parts. I've never had any leak or anything like that, or had any problems in that respect. So overall, the only really thing I can say about this spray gun is it is an absolutely brilliant spray gun. I love mine, and to be quite honest, on jobs like this that you see me doing here, I wouldn't do without it. It's brilliant. Okay guys, so I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on my SATA 5000 RP Digital. If you've got any questions or there's anything else you want to know, please drop a comment in the box below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.